Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life: family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. Keeping with our mandate to provide meaningful information to help you manage your life, the Women of Courage Show is announcing two workshops that will be held in September and October of 2019. Please put these dates on your calendar. The dates are September 14th and October the 5th. The Women of Courage Show will be conducting two workshops. The workshops are entitled What You Must Do to Win and Life Saving Advice. The workshops will be held at the Southfield Pavilion in Southfield, Michigan, in the multi-purpose room. The workshops will be held from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Regular tickets are $20. Renee from the WHPR station is the contact person for tickets and vendor information. Her phone number is 707 881 7363. If you are sick and tired of your life, join us and become a woman of courage. Wishing and hoping is not going to cut it. If you want to live a fulfilling and fruitful life, you must dare. Do not miss these workshops. You need this information to manage your life. Information that will help you do more than just survive. You can earn more money. You can live in a larger home. And you can drive a better car. Stop trying to bed your girlfriend's husband. Build a life of your own. During the workshop, you will become a stronger thinker. You will be better at seeing and facing the truth. You will learn how to be quiet when necessary. And you will leave behind your fantasy world. A lot of work has gone into developing these workshops. You have never attended a workshop such as this gathering. These workshops were designed to provide you with information that will not only help you, but you will not forget. This information will change the course of your life and the lives of your children. You will receive the benefit of 20 years of research. We look forward to seeing you there. For the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to discuss the books Women of Courage, You Are the Prophet of Your Life, and What You Must Do to Win. The reasons why we are going to give so much attention to these books is because the books were written to raise your self esteem and to give you confidence that you can do whatever it is that you want to do in your life. Actually, life is straightforward. Every day, a person must put his best foot forward to live and improve his life. That means leaving behind friends that take from your life. You do not need to sit around every day talking about the last football game that you played, wasting your day away. You need to be planning and instituting things that will improve your life. People who sit around talking all the time are afraid to live their lives. So that means saving money each month to ensure your children have a future. That means not bringing unrelated males into your home who can harm your children. At any given moment, if you ask me, I can give you the names of children who were raped and murdered by their mothers' live in boyfriends. Men are not babysitters, so do not leave your children with any men. I know there's men out there listening to me and you're mad. Well, you just have to take it because there are too many men killing these children for any sane woman to leave her children with any man, and I mean including his father. We just had 2 black males indicted for beating their children to death because it was difficult for them to learn to read. Men are not babysitters. They were built to work, and that's what they need to do. You may want to argue this point. Go right ahead, because I can drown you out with the names of children murdered by men when these children were left in their custody. What these men did to these children is an abomination. Oh, yes, and most of the mothers were charged. If you have to have sex, do it outdoors in the alley and leave that man in the alley and go home and take care of your children. A child does not need their mother making a decision that will imperil their life. It is an accepted fact that women with low self-esteem are flattered by any man's attention, and these women will pull up their skirt at any moment. They'll screw anything with a name. Also an accepted fact that women with lower self-esteem will put up with the most atrocious behavior from these men. Like I said earlier, if you're sexually attracted to these men, screw them in the alley and leave those men in the alley. If a man does not have a clear goal and is working toward that goal, leave him in the alley. If a man's mother will not have anything to do with him, leave him in the alley. If a man has 4 or 5 babies by 4 or 5 women who call him my baby's daddy, leave him in the alley. These men do not have any self-control, and they do not know how to manage their lives. They are confused and lost. You're going to meet a lot of men in your life that will say, I'm gonna start a business. I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna get me a better job. The phrase I'm a gonna is the first sign that his life will not amount to anything. People who say I'm a gonna forever use this phrase. There is no I'm a gonna. Either you are in the process of doing it or you're not in the process of doing it. It's that simple. You are either in the process of going back to school or you're either in the process of getting the job. It means that you have walked the streets and put in application after application after application after application. That phrase, I'm a gonna, is for fools. Take the phrase, I'm a gonna go back to school. Well, what has he done toward meeting this objective? Has he registered for school? Did he pay his tuition? Has he gotten a tutor for his math class? Has he found out his schedule and arranged for part-time work? Does he know where he's going to live during this time he's going back to school? Does he know how long it's going to take him to get back and forth to school on the bus? Does he have a bus schedule? All these are activities associated with the phrase, I'm a gunner. I knew a woman once who told me to my face that it was too hot outside to go and vote. Then in the wintertime, she told me it was too cold to go outside and vote. What she was saying was voting was not important to her. In the case of the man telling you, I'm a gunner, he is saying he does not know how to put his plan of going back to school into action. And he is also telling you he does not know how to find someone to tell him how to do it. He's telling you he does not believe in going to a librarian and asking her to tell him where to find information to do what it is that he wants to do. You are talking to a man that is a fool who tells you to help him start his business. In fact, he thinks you are just as stupid as he is. What insurance do you have after he starts his business that he will not dump you? Your name is not on the business, nor do you have a life insurance on his life. He hasn't married you, so you're not entitled to Social Security. Now, to the man who tells you he is going into business, you want to leave him behind. Listen to me. You want to leave him behind because that man is deadly. What he is actually saying to you is, I want to put you to work to help me raise the money I need to go into business. He will want you to pose nude on Facebook to advertise your wares. He wants to sell sex while he sells himself. After you show your wares on Facebook, then he will want to arrange for you to start selling sex to men so he can take the money to start his business. Of course, he's going to tell you that if you love him, you should be willing to help him get up the money for his business. He's an absolute fool. In your mind, you tell him to go to hell. And as soon as he turns his back, you move out that house and don't let nobody know where you've gone. Now, I want you to get this through your head, that male predators are looking for women just like you so they can exploit you and your children. They will want your children to go and buy them dope from the dope house. They'll want to eat all the chicken and leave your children with the chicken backs. They'll want to use your food stamps so you can so they can sell the food stamps and go get some beer and marijuana. Your children to eat peanut butter for the rest of the month. When you listen and do what these ignorant men tell you, you are teaching your children to be stupid just like you. And finally, your son is going to end up in prison because you were stupid, and your daughter will be a prostitute because you were stupid. It is time for you to change. This is why you need to read these books. And if you cannot read, then you need to learn how to read so you can read some books that will help you change your life. Do not believe and stop being stupid, making yourself feel important because you're trying to help your boyfriend start his business. If he's a man, he will not need your help. Do you hear what I said? I said if he's a man, damn it, he will not need your help to start his business. He'll do it on his own. I have known enough men in my life to prove this statement, starting with my father and my oldest brother. My father worked at an ice house for 14 hours a day and walked home from the Eastern Market to Grand River and 15th Street to save car fare just so we could eat. My father had a garden in the summertime to grow vegetables so my mother could can them so we could eat in the wintertime. My oldest brother did several tours of duty in Vietnam just to earn combat pay to keep his family. So do not tell me what a black man won't do to take care of his family. One thing a black man will not do is tell his woman to sell her body. So do not tell me that a black man will ask his woman to sell her body so he can start his business, because that's a bunch of crap. I know what a black man will do for his family, and what he will not do is tell his woman to sell her body for him. My father would wash our socks in cold water, then sit up at night sitting by the oven waiting for our socks to dry. Please do not tell me what a man will do for his family or to make money. But one thing a man will not do is eat before his children eat and take the best pieces of chicken and buy himself shoes when his child does not have shoes. Men do not do this. Ever that piece of human waste that you have, you need to get rid of it and never bring anything like that into your house again. If the man is living in your house, he does not need to babysit. He needs to go get him a job and pay a babysitter. He does not need to sit at home with the child playing video games. I know a man who washed dishes for 16 hours a day, 6 days a week to take care of his family. He couldn't read. He knew that he had to work to take care of his family, and that's what he did. He couldn't get a driver's license because he could not read. And his girlfriend would bring him to work and pick him up in the evening, and he was paying for the car. I knew another man who could not read. He too could not get a driver's license. But you know what he did? He walked the streets, memorizing street signs until finally he started borrowing his friend's cab and started picking up fares all over the city. He did this for years. He also hustled money down the Eastern Market, bringing people back and forth in their groceries. He also hustled money at the supermarkets. The reason why I know these men couldn't read is because I taught them to read. I made myself a promise years ago to eliminate black illiteracy. And if you care about people, then you should try to help somebody learn to read. Please do not tell me what a man will not do when he loves his wife and children. My father walked home from work just so he could give us money for lunch. We were never embarrassed in the lunchroom. If you meet a trifling man, leave him where he stands. You have no right to comfort this man with sex after all the suffering that black men have endured in this country to protect their families. This man is not willing to put forth an effort and take a job, any job, to take care of his family. You leave that piece of trash alone. Remember I said that any time a man's mother will not help him, you're to leave that man alone. Why? Because black women will go through hell for their children. I know a ton of black women who have worked 2 jobs for years to take care of their children. So anytime you see a man and his mother has turned her back on him, that man bears watching. And I mean watching. If you sleep next to this man, you better sleep with one eye open, or he'll be down the hallway visiting your daughter in her bed. When you get up in the morning and brush your teeth and put your clothes on to go to work, have you ever asked yourself exactly what you were doing? Seriously, have you ever asked yourself exactly what you were doing? What were you trying to accomplish? Exactly what were your plans for yourself? How you were going to accomplish these plans? Did you tell yourself, I'm going to work to take care of my family? That may be so, but there is something missing in that explanation of saying, I'm going to work to take care of my family. The answer is too simplistic. It lacks definition and continuity. Any morning of the week, you can say that to yourself, but you would be missing the point. Repetitive behavior is a sign of discontinuity. Could your purpose be disjointed and lack direction? What you need to do is examine your behavior, because without an examination, you may not realize that you are seriously off track. The answer, trying to take care of my family, is too broad. It is without specificity. When did you begin taking care of your family? And when will you end taking care of your family? And where are you doing these events? Your answer encapsulates years of time. And when you finish with all of these years of time, where will you end up? What will be the results of your going to work to take care of your family? Have you considered that maybe you have not given enough thought to what you are actually accomplishing? What do you mean by the phrase taking care of my family? What does that phrase entail? You need a plan. You need a roadmap telling you exactly where you want to go. You need clear cut objectives and a system of how to evaluate your failure or your success. What will help clarify the situation is if you start putting your thoughts in order. You need to segregate your thoughts and behaviors into two camps. Are you winning or losing? What are you doing to win? And if you are not winning, what are you doing to lose? First of all, let us take a look at several definitions. What is winning and what is losing? And what do you consider winning and what do you consider losing? The dif- the dictionary defines winning as an adjective, a superlative adjective, gaining or resulting in or relating to victory in a contest or competition. Winning means being victorious, successful, triumphant, vanishing your enemy, being unbeaten or undefeated. The opposite of winning is losing. The dictionary says that the word losing is also an adjective, meaning suffering, resulting in, relating to defeat in a game or contest, or losing one's side. The dictionary gives us an objective opinion of the words winning and losing. But what is your definition of these two words? Have you noticed there is something about these two words? There's something emotional about these two words, more so than the words adultery or hate. These two words carry a connotation that is not only unpleasant, but one that causes a great deal of upset. There is an emotional attachment to the use of these two words when the words more than other words in our language. One of these words most people want to avoid having associated with them. No one wants to be a loser. If a person is not a winner, most people retreat to a gray area rather than to be called a loser. Two words, winner and loser, implies a personal evaluation of one's self-worth. If you are winning, then you are a winner, and if you are losing, you are nobody. People say to themselves, I want to run as fast as I can so I will not be a loser. I want to do my absolute best so I will not be a loser. Losing is an undesirable condition. People are afraid of this term. It is a label no one wants to wear. It is an awful feeling for someone to be called a loser. Years ago, and maybe even now, women use this term to berate their husbands for failing to buy them a large house or a mink coat or etc. Use of this term makes most people uncomfortable. In the book, What You Must Do to Win, we explore the word winning. We do not pay any attention to the word losing. One of the reasons why we do not pay that much attention to the term loser is because we believe you cannot be a loser until you have given up the fight to try and win. Think of Thomas Edison, Dale Carnegie, and President Abraham Lincoln. They had to tell themselves over and over and over again, I am not a failure, I am not a loser. These phrases of telling yourself, I am not a failure and I'm not a loser, help you get up in the morning. These men persisted throughout mounting failures. You have to consider that after each failure that these men had doubts to the outcome of their future. Just because they eventually ended up doing something great does not mean that they were happy, that they did not kick themselves at every failure, or that they did not question their decision to pursue that course of their life. For years, these men were failures to those living around them. These men did not live on Fifth Avenue, they did not drive a fine car, and they did not have a fat bank account. All of them were living on the poor side of town. So the question becomes, after such failure, how did they survive and go on to win? In August, we are going to discuss three men who endured great sacrifice to win. The series is called Great Men Come From Nowhere. One of the most effective ways of getting ahead in life is by learning from the mistakes and successes of others. This way, one can avoid the mistakes of other people and possibly achieve success faster. This is one of the reasons why we're going to discuss these three winners during the month of August. These men are examples of the quote made by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, he said, when a resolute young fellow steps up to the great bully, the world, and take him boldly by the beard, he is often surprised to find it comes off in his hand, and that is only tied on to scare away timid adventurers. In other words, if you're not afraid of adventure or fighting back, you stand a great chance of winning. If you do not allow society to chase you away and make you afraid of your adventure. Abraham Lincoln, Dale Carnegie were ordinary men just like us, but they were determined to do something extraordinary because they had a vision, they had a desire, they had dreams. They worked to develop themselves. From the story of their lives, you will learn how to stop living a mediocre life and start conquering your world and living on your terms. For them, failure was not an option. Rather, it was an opportunity to refire and reach for their goals again. They have shown tremendous courage, so much that their lives could easily serve as a template for other men to emulate. Your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failure and naysayer. Let me say it again. Your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failures and naysayers. Thomas Edison failed numerous times, but he kept going back. Finally, he won, and eventually the light bulb and other inventions came into being. The same with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed at politics many times. He even ran for dog catcher and lost, but he kept running for public office until he was elected president. I'm going to repeat 2 points. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that you must deal with the bullies in your life. You must take those bullies on boldly and realize that the only reason why you may fail is because you become scared and that you are timid. Also remember, your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failure and naysayers. Edison won and Abraham Lincoln won after many failures. So can you. One thing about these men, they challenged themselves. They inspired others with their courage and they pushed ahead. Remember, a man is what he thinks about all day long. So says Ralph Waldo Emerson. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now for my break.
At what point did you think this was going to be easy? At what point did you think this was going to be handed to you? This is life. Every moment, every second, as precious as the next. I don't care if you've lost. I don't care if you failed. I don't care if you've hit bottom. As long as that hunger still lies inside, as long as that light still flickers, you fight. We fight for the people that believe in us. We fight for the moments, we fight for the seconds. fight for the pride. We fight for the dreams. We fight. We always fight. You were built to push boundaries. You were designed to go beyond the breaking point. But somewhere down the line, you got comfortable. You decided settling was the best option. There are no comfort zones on the path to success. There is no wait once you see an opportunity. In this life, we don't walk around our fears. We grit our teeth, we run over those fears. So show me where you come from. Where risk is taken and the pride is won. We don't stop in this life. We don't quit in this life. We push until the day we die. I can tell you, this will be the hardest thing you have ever experienced. That moment when you decide to risk everything to follow your dreams. But when you realize it is possible, that this is no longer a dream, this is a reality, you will change. The hustle will be born. But you need to believe in the process. Countless hours, sleepless nights, leaving nothing on the table, because we can't let this one fail. We won't let this one fail. We grind because we have to now. We push because we have to now. There is no wait for this dream. Every move is calculated, every decision is planned and executed. You've got one shot to make this count. No room for regrets in this life. We dream big, we push big, we grind big, we live big. So tell me, are you dreaming or are you pushing? Today, I choose love. From my past, my future, to my family and friends, I choose love. With everything we've got going on in the world today, all the hate and negativity, love is all we have, and it's all we need. If you can start each day with love, you will watch your world change. But the time is now to forgive, to forget, to move on. Do this and your perspective will change. If I know one thing, I would rather live in a world with love and openness than a world full of pain. And it's our choice to believe in something bigger than us. One world, one people, One love.
Now, we do believe that one can be a loser if he or she does not have a clear cut path to winning or they just give up. People do not necessarily lose because of lack of effort. They lose for lack of planning, self development, skills, education, funding, and lack of focus. One's path has to be well thought out. Our behavior must be focused on the task of winning. Before Dale Carnegie went to bed at night, he re-evaluated his day. He thought about what he did well and what he did not do well. One must have clearly defined goals and distinct thinking. When we finish with the next 3 or 4 shows, we're going to discuss 3 men who were winners. All 3 of these men are black. Inherent in the winning were the words fight and resistance. The reason why we chose these 3 black men is because we seldom hear of black men winning. We always hear of black men going into prison, but not black men winning. And there's thousands and thousands of black men who win, who raise their families, who go to work, and they retire and receive a pension. 3 men that we're going to discuss put everything on the line to win, but behind their behavior were the words fight and resistance. Please keep those 2 words in mind. Now, back to winning. The best way to talk about winning is to talk about what not to do if you want to win in life. Listen to me. The best way to talk about winning is to talk about what not to do to win at life. One of them is having unprotected sex. Okay? If you want to win, then you do not want to be burdened down with 3 or 4 children and you're uneducated. There is nothing wrong with having children, but you cannot take care of your children properly and plan for their future and live your future if you are uneducated, which means the only place you can work is McDonald's or Wendy's. So, if you want to win, then you have to know what not to do. You do not associate with people who are practicing the art of losing, like getting up in the morning and smoking marijuana. You do not participate or associate with people who do not like to go to work, or who is always late going to work, or people who are always quitting, or people who are always being fired. You do not associate with people when their parents don't like them, when their parents don't want to have anything to do with them, when their parents will not loan them any money. So it's not so much a winning as not knowing what to do. You need to know what not to do in order to win at life. You do not run around with people in stolen cars. You do not visit your friends in dope houses. When you read the book, What You Must Do to Win, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to be shocked when the author uses the word, you need to stop being stupid. If the word stupid defines your life, then you need to start learning what not to do if you want to become a winner. Now, as you begin reading the book, What You Must Do to Win, the author discusses a man who, from all intents and purposes, was supposed to be a loser at life. This man was born poor. He was born black. He could not tap dance. He couldn't play an instrument, he couldn't sing, he couldn't play baseball, and he couldn't play basketball. His parents were not educated, and as a child, he went to school, and the school had very little resources, and he was born of a different sexual persuasion, yet he won at life. The author poses the question to her readers: why did this man win? Then the author makes this statement: are you afraid of laughter? Do you sit at home or on the bus or in your car, wringing your hands with your stomach tied in knots, worrying about what someone will think or say about you if you try something new and fail? The author says, don't worry. There is no need to worry because if you don't try, you can't fail. With these sentences, the author tells you you don't have to be concerned with failure if you don't try. Then the author moves on and asks her readers, are they not tired of being a fool? Now, that's a very upsetting question, but you need to think about it. What makes a person a fool? One thing that makes a person a fool is if he or she keeps repeating the same bad behavior over and over again. Think about it. You have to be foolish if you keep driving around in stolen cars. You keep going to dope houses. You keep associating with people who are not going anywhere. You keep associating with people who get fired all the time. You keep associating with people who are late all the time. You keep associating with people who have two or three or four or five babies by two or three or four or five women. So, at this juncture, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? So, when you're looking at the word winning, the author does not look at the situation as someone playing a sport or driving a fast car. She's talking about ordinary people. You are to look at the dynamics of one's thinking. How does one win? What are the tools that you need to purchase, buy to win? There are some people out there winning, so what are they doing that you're not doing? But the one thing that you cannot do is become jealous and envious. Then you start doing and thinking how to do hateful things to the people that you see winning around you. We just finished a discussion on jealousy and envy, and you need to go back and listen to it on my YouTube channel. If you begin to feel jealousy and envy watching other people win, do not become angry at those people. You need to re examine your behavior because you are the problem, not these people. You need to get a hold of yourself. Cry if you have to. Then, if you can't find out the answer why you keep losing, then you need to go talk to a professional. You need to talk to a social worker, a psychiatrist, or a psychologist, but someone that can help you find out why you keep losing, especially women. Why do you keep having baby after baby after baby after baby? Why do you keep allowing men to use you as a toilet? Why do you not have self respect? It is time to grow up and face that woman in the mirror. It's pure and simple. It is time to grow up and face the person that you have become and then decide to make a change and then go about completing that change. If not for yourself, at least for the sake of your children. Please pay close attention to this information because thousands and thousands and thousands of people suffer because of low self esteem. It is keeping them from winning, it's keeping them from being happy, and it's also keeping them from dealing with bullies in their lives. When you have low self esteem or negative self esteem, you put little value on your opinion or on your ideas. You focus on your weaknesses, what you perceive as weaknesses, and your faults, and you give little credit to your skills and assets. You believe that others are more capable or successful than you. You probably have difficulty in accepting positive feedback. You might fear failure, which can hold you back from exceeding at work or at school. When you have healthy self esteem, this means you have a balanced view of yourself. For instance, you have a good opinion of your abilities. You recognize your flaws, but you also recognize what you're good at doing. When self esteem is healthy and grounded in reality, it's hard to have too much of it. Boasting and feeling superior to others around you is not a sign of too much self esteem. It is more likely that you feel insecure and you have low self. You boast because you do not want people to recognize what you think are flaws in your personality. When you value yourself and have good self esteem, you feel secure and worthwhile. You have positive relationships with others and you feel confident about your abilities. You are also open to learning and open to feedback, which can help you acquire and master new skills. When you have healthy self esteem, you are assertive in expressing your needs and opinions. You're confident in your ability to make decisions. You are able to form secure and honest relationships and are less likely to stay in unhealthy relationships. You're realistic in your expectation and you are less likely to be overcritical of yourself or others. You are more resilient and are better able to weather stress and setbacks. Self esteem affects virtually every facet of your life. Maintaining a healthy, realistic view of yourself is not about blowing your own horn. It's about learning to like and respecting yourself, your flaws, and all. Please pay close attention to the next information. Low self esteem is a negative evaluation of oneself. This type of evaluation usually comes or occurs when some circumstance we encountered in our life touched on our sensitivities. We personalized the incident and experienced physical, emotional, and cognitive arousal. This is so alarming and confusing that we responded by acting in a self defeating and self destructive manner. When that happens, our actions tend to be automatic and impulse driven. We feel upset, emotionally blocked, our thinking narrows, our self care deteriorates, we lose our sense of self, we focus on being in control and become self absorbed. Raising your self esteem is possible, but it requires that we grow as we face our fears and learn from our experiences. Some of this type of work will require you to see a psychotherapist. Do not reject the idea of a psychotherapist. Some of the things that you can do on your own is one is try to stop self-destructive behavior. One of the things is try to get rid of your addictions. Try to replace them with self-care. Practice self-care by joining self-help groups and practicing positive health care. Try to identify triggers that cause the feelings inside of yourself. Start paying attention to yourself. Watch how you respond to your thoughts. Acknowledge when you talk to yourself negatively. Give yourself a choice on how you want to respond. You have the right to identify what you like and what you truly do not like. You have the right to reject what you do not like and what you truly do not need for yourself. Do not have to be detached. You can confront the things in life that you do not like. If you do not like your job, then go back to school and change your situation. Be more assertive. Voice what you see, what you feel, and what you want to make occur. Start using statements beginning with the word I. By expressing your thoughts and feelings and desires in a direct and honest manner, you can show other people that you are changing your life. And finally, last but not least, remove the words if, can't, shouldn't, wouldn't, maybe, I might from your vocabulary. The Women of Courage Show broadcast on WHPR WHPR 88.1 FM every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Please remember, if you are not in your car or near radio during our broadcast, we can be seen and heard on your computer if you go to TV33WHPR.com. Again, TV33WHPR.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on the link WHPR 88.1 FM. We can also be heard on your phone if you download the free app WHPR TV Detroit Live or listen to us on Roku at WHPR TV Detroit Live 88.1 FM. If you missed one of our broadcasts, you can view our archive on YouTube at the Touched by the Light Publishing channel. Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Please join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Do not forget the dates September 14th and October 5th. Both of these dates are a Saturday. Rather than conduct our regular Saturday meetings, the Women of Courage Show is holding 2 workshops at the Southfield Pavilion in the multi-purpose room. The regular tickets for these events are $20. You can contact Renee of WHPR at 707-881-7363 for tickets and more information about the event and the vendor opportunities. This is going to be a spectacular event. You will not forget this experience. There is only one person in this state that can give a workshop like this. The last time she gave a workshop, it was for the Association of Black Social Workers at the Center on Woodward. During the workshop, not one word was spoken by anyone except by the narrator. And when the social workers left the workshop, there was not one handout left on the table. You will want to share this event with your friends and family. Bring your business cards to share. The Women of Courage Show encourages women to respect other women and to support women in business. It is only when we work together that we win. Because of the city fire codes, these are limited capacity workshops. Please purchase your tickets early so you will not miss out on hearing from one of the world's most prolific writers. Our speaker is the only person in America who has researched the murders of more than 20,000 women. She was in college when Masters and Johnson published their 1957 to 1994 work on human sexuality. She vowed then that she would complete an equally important work. She accomplished this task between the ages of 57 and 69. Her research is entitled "Do This in Remembrance of Me." You will want to hear what this woman has to say. Remember, Renee of WHPR TV 33 can help you with tickets. God bless and keep believing. The best revenge against your enemy is for you to succeed. Dr. Latina Denson is running for the Southfield City Council, and she needs your help. Dr. Latina Denson has dedicated her life to public service. She works as the commissioner on senior adults in Southfield. She volunteers at numerous agencies such as World Medical Relief, Stroke of Knowledge, and she is currently the president of Strategic Development Solutions. Show your appreciation by voting for Dr. Latina Denson for City Council of Southfield, Michigan. You can support the election of Dr. Latina Denson by going to the website touchedbythelight.us and purchasing a book. Proceeds from your purchase will help her campaign. Thank you. Be certain that you attend the Women of Courage workshops September the 14th and October the 5th in Southfield at the Southfield Pavilion. Both dates are a Saturday. Dr. Latina Denson will be our guest speaker. Seating is limited. Regular tickets are $20. For ticket and vendor information, please contact Renee from WHPR. Her phone number is 707-881-7363. Again, 707-881-7363. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of a million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach a million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.